Welcome back to the Buds Podcast, episode 23. And now, since Monday, I would say, there hasn't really been much news. Everything's kind of playing itself out in the sports world now. MLB's back on Wednesday, MLB came back. And since then, there hasn't really been much news. Not much happened in the NFL. The NBA is kind of shoring up down there in Orlando. So we thought we should take it upon ourselves and do a preseason or very early NFL awards prediction video. And so we went through and individually this time, I know we've done award predictions in the past, but individually this time we are saying who we have for our MVP, our offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive rookie, defensive rookie, coach of the year, comeback player of the year, and fantasy player of the year. So we're basically just going to go through, say who we have for MVP and for the both offensive rookies. We all have dark horses for those, just for those awards. So we'll say that after we say our choice. And like I said, we'll all go through. We'll say each pick, and then we'll have a discussion after the fact. So I think, do you guys want to? Are we starting with fantasy player?
Fantasy player first.
Wait, who's starting it off?
Who's starting off?
I mean,
Joe, you can go. Let's go, Joe.
Let's go youngest to oldest.
Let's go Joe, Ben, Brady, me, Nick.
All right. So, for fantasy player of the year, I feel like I have Saquon Barkley. Let me just put that out there. You guys can go.
Okay.
I have Saquon Barkley.
I have Saquon Barkley.
I think it's unanimous.
I had Christian McCaffrey.
I think no.
See, I have Dalvin Cook.
Okay.
Oh.
Let me go first.
You got a lot of dip on your chip.
Man doesn't have a contract.
Let me go first. The Giants line got way better.
Yeah.
The quarterback is actually having a good offseason. He's actually learning how to handle the ball better. He can, and the offensive line got better. I just said that. But, he's going to do so much better now if he stays healthy.
Is that kind of your Ben and Brady? Is that kind of your guys' reason?
Yeah, and also he gets to play a full season this year.
True.
He didn't play a full season last year.
My reasoning is really.
I forget how many games he played last year, but he played a very limited. I want to say like 10 games, and he still put up 1,000 rush yards. So he could have a very crazy season.
He can put up 2K rush yards easy. But Nick, Andrew, you go first. I want to hear why you picked McCaffrey.
Yeah, I picked Christian McCaffrey. He had an amazing year last year. I think he's going to follow it up with an actual QB now in Teddy Bridgewater. And I feel like Teddy is going to be good for him because Teddy was kind of a mobile QB, but now he's more pocket passer. And I feel like he's going to be able to get those good reads with him and maybe kind of confuse the defense a little bit. Line's a little sketch, but I feel like he's Christian McCaffrey. And he can do good in the air and on the ground. And we'll just have to see what he can do. But that was definitely a good pick with Saquon.
Yeah, the only reason why I feel like McCaffrey's sus is just because now they actually have like a air attack. They have Bridgewater.
Yeah.
They have Robbie Anderson as a deep target. He's probably like a top 10 deep target in the league. And that was on the New York Jets with that offense. So I imagine what he's going to do on the Panthers. You have, I think, Moore, what's his first name? It's like something Moore. I don't know.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore. He's like a mid to slow attack. So I feel like they have a bigger attack. I feel like they won't need to use McCaffrey as much. But on to Nick.
Okay, so Nick, why did you pick Dalvin?
Yeah,
I want to hear that.
I know he doesn't have a contract. I think it's gonna be like Ezekiel Elliott from last year where he signs before and plays. But I think with Diggs gone, I feel like he's like Minnesota's main guy now. Like
I do agree with that.
I feel like they're gonna run the ball more. He's gonna probably even be the second receiver, to be honest, behind Thielen. I just feel he's gonna get a lot of touches.
Yeah, I could honestly see that. And that's what you need in fantasy football. You just need the touches, really.
The man gets his money, but he does. I think he can win it.
See, fantasy player of the year, it's kind of like a throw up award because anybody could win it.
It's majority Saquon.
It could literally go QB. Like Lamar could just have a crazy season again and go off.
And I think he was like top 5 in fantasy last year too with Diggs.
Yeah.
So coach of the year?
Yeah, coach of the year now.
I'm going with Bruce Arians.
Bubba?
I got Bruce Arians.
Brady?
I got Kyle Shannon.
I got Bruce Arians.
I got Sean McDermott.
Oh my!
God.
I knew you were gonna pick Sean McDermott. I knew you were gonna pick Sean
See,
McDermott.
Before everyone makes their case, I'm seeing a trend here in the first two. 3 people are agreeing and 2 people are disagreeing.
Right. I mean,
Nice.
the Buccaneers were a 7-9 team last year, right? They'll
Yeah.
get 12 wins this year. I feel like, and they'll be like one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs, and they have a chance. I think we had them winning the Super Bowl, like going to the Super Bowl or something like that, right? In
Yeah.
our other
In our
prediction video,
prediction video, yeah, we
which
did.
was a
The
little
other thing I-
sus, but
The other thing I want to say is not only for being coach of the year, but for being able to bring, I mean, one of the best QBs of all time down, pulling him away from his team that he's been with for 20 years, pulling him to your team, and then bringing a top, you could say, 5 tight end of all time, bringing him to your team. I mean, not only is he coach of the year, he's a GM of the year.
And having a pretty good draft, too.
Yeah, he had a good draft for what picks he had.
He drafted all Minnesota. What are you talking about?
With arguably the best safety in the draft.
Yeah. So I think we'll go Brady. Why'd you pick Kyle?
I took Shanahan because I feel like he's got the team that can run it back really back to the Super Bowl. I mean, I know he was a nominee last year, and I mean it's hard to beat John Harbaugh and the Ravens and the great regular season they had, but I think Shanahan's got the willpower to kick it back.
See, the one thing I think Shanahan, he kept his defense. That's what he needed. He was keeping his defense. But
And I think he added to it, didn't it?
Yeah, they even added. I'm pretty sure they did. The one thing they lost, though, was that running back room. They lost a couple good – because their running back room was their workhorse. That's what they were built off of. Like, that's what carried them to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And they lost – they traded Matt Breida to Miami.
And
everyone's forgets
they lost to Forrest Buckner, but here's my thing. They picked up a first-round pick, and I think they got Kinlaw, right?
Yeah, they got Kinlaw.
They got Kinlaw.
And here's another thing that I don't think a lot of people realize is that Jerick McKinnon signed with the 49ers after the 2017 season, but he hasn't even played a single snap.
So, yeah, Jerick McKinnon, he'll probably take over that Matt Breida role a little bit. And it honestly could be the same rushing attack. So it'll be interesting.
He stays healthy.
Yeah.
For the most suspicious pick, Nick, go.
No, it's not suspicious. I mean,
it's not even that suspicious.
I mean, it's not suspicious, but I don't think he's gonna. I mean, just go.
I'm saying, okay, his first 3 years in Buffalo, he's already led them to 2 playoffs. And now this year, Brady's out of New England. They finally got like a superstar wide receiver they haven't had like in a long time.
That's Terrell Owens.
Like, I think they'll for sure be like top 3 in the AFC.
Yeah, they'll definitely be a top team, and I think that if they make it to the championship game, the AFC championship, he could definitely be number 1 or number 2 for that award.
If they get like 11 plus wins next year with like their tough schedule, I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's not that sus of a pick.
Yeah, the way he explained it didn't make it as sus. I was like,
the thing is, I knew it was coming from Nick, but I just I didn't mentally prepare myself for it because we were saying we all said a different person. Right. So next we got comeback, correct?
Yeah, comeback.
Yep, comeback player of the year, correct.
And the thing I want to mention, I know all of us picked one, but I think me and Nick discussed it while everyone was skiing. We have me and him have 2. So if you want to throw an extra player in there, you can do that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have 2. I mean, Derwin James or Cam Newton.
Okay. Ben?
I have a repeat winner, Matthew Stafford.
Oh, okay. Brady?
I have Xavier Howard and Kerryon Johnson.
Okay. I had either Derwin James or Matthew Stafford.
I picked Derwin James and Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay. So, I mean...
I mean, Roethlisberger was my MVP, but...
I think the thing that we can say here is that Derwin probably will win it. He sat out the whole year, right?
5 games. He played 5 games.
He played 5 games. I mean, he's one of the best safeties in the league. He could easily come back, 100-tackle season, couple interceptions, and run away with the award. That's the most likely pick. Now, who was your second player, Joe?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again.
I think, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just with all the hype around, and plus I feel like he's not gonna do that. I mean, he won't do that good, but I feel like for comeback player of the year, he'll do like he'll do a above average quarterback role. I feel like that's what he'll do.
And I was gonna throw him on my list, but then I mean I absolutely wanted my other guy. But I feel like he's gonna flourish in that. They're gonna make him good because he obviously can't be a running QB anymore. Patriots always have had a pocket passer. If Josh McDaniels can work with him enough, I feel like he can be an amazing pocket passer and just do checkdowns like Brady was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he'll be decent.
Uh-huh.
Now, Bubba, who did you say?
I said Matthew Stafford.
Okay. Now,
I think that's possible. Honestly.
I mean, I said Matthew too, so.
I think that
that's
they gave
possible.
him a really good running back. I mean, he already has Kerryon Johnson, which was good last season. I mean, he didn't do amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got hurt a
He
little.
only played half the season.
Yeah, only half the season. But I don't know. I just think Stafford. He got injured even when the Lions in like week 3 or 4 were undefeated. They were like 2-0-1.
Yeah, and see the thing is about Stafford is he was putting up 2,400 yards, 19 touchdowns, and I want to say 2 interceptions. He was having a great year.
Yeah. He had 5 last year. Damn.
And then his back broke. I don't know how he was playing with a broken back, but apparently the Ford family in Detroit's front office was letting him play with a broken back somehow.
That's only in 8 games too. How are they 3-4 in that? 3-4-1.
Yeah. It's because
and your quarterback does 20 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
You can hear me get into why they were.
Oh, I heard you ran it.
Yeah, and if you want to hear about the slander of a potential MVP last year, you can go watch that too.
Okay, but Brady, who are your picks?
I had Xavier Howard and Kerryon Johnson.
Okay, why?
I picked Howard because the year before he actually had a pretty good season. I think he had 7 or 8 interceptions, and last year he only had played 5 games with 1 interception. I think coming back to the Miami D, I think he's actually going to be pretty good. He's not going to be the star guy there now that Byron Jones is there, but I mean he could produce. I mean a lot of teams in the AFC East have 2 wide receivers that are pretty good. So I mean it's going to be you're going to have double trouble there with the corners there.
Yeah,
I mean I think he's better than Byron Jones, low key.
Nice, that's why.
Yeah.
What about Johnson?
Kerryon Johnson was really good. When I see him played against the Vikings, that was the game he got injured. Actually, he's a good running back for sure. That's why I think he has potential. If Jonathan Taylor doesn't beat him out for his job, to be fair.
Jonathan, you mean DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, same guy. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing I was going to mention about that is I don't think Johnson's going to be a every down back. He's going to be like him and Swift are going to switch a lot and. They're going to probably split the carries almost.
Right.
So, now, who'd you have, Nick?
Derwin James and Roethlisberger.
Okay, I think Derwin James.
Yeah.
Well,
so now,
Roethlisberger was like hurt like all of last season pretty much. And Pittsburgh still almost made the playoffs.
Yeah, they were 8-8, I think.
And now he did. I think the year before they were like had a pretty good season too. They got him. I think some more weapons. I think if he makes the playoffs right after like that year-long injury, then like
because
he should be in consideration.
He had Tommy John, I think, right?
Basically.
I think that's what he had. So I mean, if he can come back from that, I mean, most definitely. I feel like all these players that we said all have a very good chance of being on there. So are we to
next is offensive rookie
of the year? Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna go through. We're gonna say our
normal pick, and then everyone will go through, and then we'll go to the dark horse.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chiefs.
I had CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb. Oh, okay. Ben.
I had Joe Burrow.
I had Joe Burrow.
I had Joe Burrow.
And I had CeeDee Lamb.
Okay. Wait. Let me see. I was gonna pick Joe Burrow. Okay. But I don't know if AJ Green's playing really. Do we know? I'm gonna say no as of now. I don't know what's going on.
Got a franchise tag, so.
He got tagged.
I mean.
They said AJ Green said he wanted a new quarterback and he wanted the culture to change.
Yeah.
And
so
I mean
the culture has changed. But You have the most underrated player on the Bengals, Tyler Boyd. Yeah. I mean, but the running. I mean, I don't know. I feel like
Joe Mixon's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know
you
what
know,
you're.
yeah,
I don't know what
you
you're
He's
know,
a
doing
top
here.
10 running back.
What's your
no,
point here? You're
no.
taking.
I'm
little-
not discrediting like them. I'm just saying why CeeDee Lamb should win. Let me go to that part now. I mean, Dak is a top 10 quarterback, 10 or 9. Don't at me there. Don't at me there. And
Okay.
you know, Amari Cooper is going to take away that number 1 option on the field, so CeeDee Lamb will be the number 2, and he'll be on number
What
2.
about Gallup?
Yeah, exactly. You forgot about Michael Gallup.
Gallup's the number 3.
Oh,
No,
you're
Gallup's-
funny.
No, they're having CD play the slot, so
I
Gallup
mean-
will be the number 2.
Okay, I still think Lamb's winning. Either way.
I mean,
I mean,
okay.
I
Lamb's
just
a
think
great route runner,
Joe
his
Burrow.
speed.
I don't think Joe Burrow. I don't think the Bengals are going to be a playoff team. I think they'll be 6-10, 5-11. But with Joe Burrow, because I mean, I don't think their defense is good enough to compete. But I think that Joe Burrow with a top 10 running back. I don't know if you could put AJ Green in top 10 wide receivers, but I mean, I think he's been a good receiver before.
I think
If
they
you-
have a top 12 receiving core. Tyler
Yeah.
Boyd's pretty good.
Tyler Boyd
See,
and T. Higgins.
Yeah.
And they have what's his name? The tall guy. Can't even think of his name.
Hmm?
Give me a second. Hold on. You can
What,
continue.
T.
Sorry.
Higgins?
T. Higgins.
No.
Eifert? No.
Yeah, Tyler.
No,
Is it
Eifert,
Eifert still?
no.
No,
Eifert went to
Eifert-
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Just
Eifert went to
continue talking while I
Saxonville.
find this.
See, I just think CD Lamb has the best situation.
I mean,
Hmm?
nah, because he's
I
not.
mean, to be fair,
I mean,
The-
I
the-
will say that it's good that he has 2 other wide receivers that are good, but it's also bad in the fact that the targets will be more split up between those 2. I think most of them will go to Amari Cooper
Auden Tate.
instead of CeeDee.
Auden Tate. He's 6'5".
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
I didn't even know who that was.
He's a very slept on receiver.
My dark horse has the best situation. I'll give him that.
Okay, so I think let's move to dark horse. So
Okay. Before I get any hate,
Oh,
it's
no.
gonna happen. He might win it. Michael Pittman.
all right,
I
Ben,
went with Jalen Rieger or Rager.
I went
Brady.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I went Jerry Judy.
I went Chase Claypool.
Okay. So
Ooh.
let me get my
We all
Michael.
had different
Let me
ones.
get my Michael Pittman hype train
I
here.
was gonna pick Pittman, but I knew Joe
Okay.
would pick him.
Pittman, in my opinion, top 3 offensive line in the league on that team. So Phillip Rivers has enough time to throw the ball to Pittman. Pittman is, I mean, Hilton, he's like washed a little bit. But I think Pittman will get a decent amount of targets, and he's NFL ready, as we saw in college. He was killing people, and they have a good running back. So
Okay,
In the Pac-12.
Ben.
I think that
with
I put
Oregon
Jalen
and
Rieger
Utah.
because
He had 300 yards or something.
he
Utah.
is going into. I know there's not a lot of receivers on the Eagles, but they do have Zach Ertz, that is probably a top 3 tight end.
Yeah.
I would say top 3, probably third, but I would say top 3 tight end. So there's going to be a lot of focus on Ertz, and I think that Jalen Rieger can get open a lot and probably get targets since he's the only wide receiver really on that team.
Will he catch the ball though?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, hopefully he's not Nelson Aguilar, but
Okay, Brady.
I went Clyde Edwards-Helaire because I think that he's in the best situation out of you really can't get. You're not in a bad situation when you go to the Super Bowl champion team. He's just like what's his face? Darren Sproles, not Darren Sproles. Yeah, Darren Sproles, and he's with Andy Reid. So I mean, Andy Reid loved Darren Sproles, so I think he'll love Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, but just one thing. I mean,
Okay.
he's not just automatically going to be the starting running back. Though, like Damian Williams is still there. You know. I mean,
Yeah,
The most underrated player.
but you have
Yeah,
to.
very
Okay.
underrated.
Okay.
Okay.
So I said Jerry Judy. He's
I mean, I could just slander the hell out of Michael Pittman, considering T.Y. Hilton's the best receiver there, but I didn't go there.
yeah.
I was just, hey,
He's not. Also, T.Y. Hilton's not washed. His quarterback last year was Jacoby Brissett.
Hey, Jacoby Brissett started out good,
Okay.
and then he got a little bad, but started out good.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to I had Jerry Jeudy. He's in good situation there. I mean, he's in a situation like CeeDee Lamb. He's probably gonna go in as like the third. He'll probably end up being the second wide receiver there.
Mhm.
Drew Lock, he has a decent end to his rookie season, so that you could see that with the defensive help there. And then not like the whole team helps him there, but he's gonna get the targets because Cortland Sutton and Deshaun Hamilton, and then with
And
Noah
KJ
Fant,
Hamler.
yeah, KJ. They have so many receivers that they aren't gonna be able to guard one person. They run 5 wide. You throw Deshaun Hamilton, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, Hamler, and Noah Fant out there, like you can't guard them all. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a good situation for him.
I
So
don't-
he could. I feel like he could get like 800 yards. 800 yards,
Mhm.
8 touchdowns. Something like
I was gonna pick
Okay.
him, but my love for Michael Pittman, it just never ends.
Yeah.
So I had to pick him.
that. And who's yours, Nick?
I picked Chase Claypool. See, I feel like playing with Ben Roethlisberger, veteran QB, you're gonna have Juju Smith on the other side. It's gonna probably be double teamed, and you have this Chase Claypool 6'4", ran a 4.42, who I feel like just good. If he could become like people say the next Calvin Johnson.
And a fun fact, he's working out with Michael Pittman.
I mean,
Here's a fun fact. Forgot we asked.
that is a good situation there because he'll be the number 2.
Michael
So
Pittman hype train.
let's hop off that. Michael Pittman hype train. Michael Pittman hype train ended a month ago after that
Yeah.
video came out.
The train was discontinued.
I mean,
Alright.
I've still been on it. I don't know about you guys.
Hey,
but-
we can head to the defensive rookie
Yeah.
of the year now.
I
Okay.
feel like
Defensive
this
rookie
one's
of the
gonna be.
I feel like we're gonna agree
I
on
think this is unanimous.
Okay.
You know what?
Go ahead, Joe.
It was unanimous at the start. Now I'm gonna get called the hype beast, but I'm saying Patrick Queen because I know you guys did a film video on him, blah blah.
Okay.
But I think it's Patrick Queen. I know who
Okay.
all of you guys are gonna
Bubba?
pick though.
Isaiah Simmons.
Oh,
Okay.
never
I
mind.
have Isaiah.
Oh,
I have
Wait.
Jeff Okuda.
Oh,
Whoa.
See, I went Chase Young.
the one.
Okay, yeah, that was my first one.
Okay.
Okay, I thought we all. Okay.
Yeah.
I will say
Okay.
I had Isaiah Simmons as my dark horse and Chase Young as my defensive rookie of the year at first. Then I changed it because I think that Isaiah Simmons has a great defense around him. Patrick Peterson and what was his name? Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
He almost won Defensive Player of the Year
Hmm.
last year. I mean, I think that you could put Isaiah Simmons there and he's going to really do good.
I mean, yeah, but you could say the same thing about Patrick Queen. I mean, that's probably one of the best defenses in the league.
I
Don't
will
even-
admit Patrick Queen was my dark horse.
Roast.
Whoa,
Patrick
we
Queen.
Is that dark horse yet?
Because and you put Patrick Queen in there. I'm telling you, that's I did pick someone else for dark horse, but I just thought that he should win it. Patrick.
Okay,
Queen's
so
win.
Brady,
Yeah.
did you want to make your case for Isaiah or did Ben?
Ben wrapped it up pretty damn like I would.
Ben.
So I picked Okuda because he's going in there as the number 1 corner. I mean, I know it's probably it's a corner. Corners rarely. I mean, you saw it with Lattimore, and you've seen it more often. Corners winning defense player of the year. So I feel like he's gonna be able to get the tackles. He'll get interceptions. He's kind of like a Slay 2.0. I feel like he has the same model as Slay in a way. So hopefully he can play like Slay a little bit better in his rookie year, because Slay wasn't as good as his rookie year. But I feel like he could run away with it. But at the same time, this defensive rookie class was very, very deep, so it could go anyway.
I think it's going to be Chase Young, who I think the best defensive player in the draft, because I feel like he just needs to get like 10 plus. I think he can get 10 plus sacks, and I even think he has the potential to be an All-Pro.
See, the reason I didn't pick Young was because they have so much defensive line there and edge rushers even. So I felt like they're going to be rotating a lot, but at the same time, I feel like will get a majority of the snaps. So he could have squeezed his way in, but that's why I didn't put him on either of mine.
Yeah,
So
like I think it's gonna be like Nick Bosa from last year.
more than likely. So Joe, dark horse.
I couldn't decide on one. Can I say two of them?
Yes, you only get to defend one though.
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, one of them is Chase Young, but one of them is AJ Epineza.
I looked at him.
Okay.
I'll admit. Okay, Bubba.
I'm gonna
I
defend him
have
more.
I have a dark horse. I have Zach Bond.
Oh, okay.
We had a third round
Brad?
pick in there.
I have Patrick Queen.
I had Patrick
We were
Queen.
roasting Patrick Queen before.
I pick Grant Delpit.
Okay.
All right, so Epineza. I just think because he had a lot of sacks in college. He's like a bull rush guy. Like he'll just run straight through your left tackle, or right tackle. So I think he can get a lot of sacks, and I feel like they really look at that for defensive rookie of the year. There.
They look for sacks.
Yeah, I feel like for a defensive lineman, I meant they look like they want us to get a lot of sacks. I feel like.
Yeah, I think that if you're looking at a defensive lineman for rookie of the year, it's definitely
you gotta have the sacks.
if he has the most sacks.
And he could put up 10 plus.
Well, they probably also look at some sweaty stuff like amount of pressures and stuff.
Yeah.
Without doubt. So
probably.
Ben,
I put Zach Bond because he's going into. He was a third round pick. I think we said that he was going to go first round to the Titans, but that did not happen.
I'm pretty sure we did.
I think we did. We did.
He should have too.
Okay. Well. Okay. I think he should have gone way earlier than the third round. I think that he's coming in. I'm pretty sure he's even though the Saints don't run a 3-4, I think they run a 4-3. But I think that he's a rush linebacker, so they could put him at the end. But he's got Cameron Jordan. He's got really good coverage with Marshawn Lattimore. And what's his name? Marcus Williams?
Yeah, I think so.
The guy that screwed up. The guy who screwed up in the playoffs, but has actually been doing pretty good. I think with his secondary and with the help on the defensive line, I think that he could be a dark horse to win.
So, Brad, do you want to discuss Patrick Queen, or I feel like
Joe,
yeah. So Nick,
Nick,
you can go ahead with your guy.
Oh, see, I went Grant Delpit. I feel like he was the best safety in the draft last year. So you might disagree here. And he's going to be the starting free safety for Cleveland. They got a solid defense there.
We had Delpit going first round, and he dropped mid-second. So
yeah, I don't know.
We saw the talent.
The Browns are like a troll team, but I feel like he's gonna be a good fit for them.
Oh, most definitely. Okay, so offense player
of the year. Yep.
All right, so this is the one where I didn't know who to pick, so I said Mahomes. That was just me. I didn't really know who to pick here. I feel like this was very hard for me, but I picked Mahomes.
Ben?
Derrick Henry.
Brad?
I took Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I was thinking McCaffrey there.
I took McCaffrey too.
Yeah, I took McCaffrey.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking McCaffrey, but I was like, I feel like a non-QB always wins offensive, or usually wins offensive player of the year. Right?
They do.
Not
Usually. Usually, position player always wins it because QB always wins MVP. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So, I think we'll let Ben say why he picked Derrick Henry, and then we can talk about McCaffrey.
That's an interesting pick.
Okay. So
I think we
Henry,
can see why.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry had led the league in rushing at 1,500 yards rushing. When for the first 4 games, his left tackle was out. He had what's now a backup quarterback in, and then he also missed an entire game with the Saints game. And I saw this statistic. Henry when he was carrying the ball had the box was filled with at least 8 defenders 188 times, which is 40 more times than the number 2 person, Dalvin Cook.
How many?
I think that
Do you know how many rushes Derrick Henry had?
Like 303, I think.
I think actually you're right. I think I saw he had like 340 something.
Yeah.
It
was like 300 something.
So that means a third of his rushes were against 8 people in the box. which means I think that if he with I mean, I know Jack Conklin left, but they did a good job filling that in with Isaiah Wilson. But I think that he could be the one that wins it.
That's what we like to call sweaty stats, people. Sweaty stats.
So I think all of us picked McCaffrey
Yeah.
because
I think it's kind of
Okay.
obvious.
Yeah,
he
honestly,
can put up 1,000 yards in the air and 1,000 yards on the
Yeah,
ground. So you can put up
exactly.
2,000 all-purpose. That's offensive player of the year.
And I
type.
think he's gonna have more rush yards this year.
Oh, without a doubt.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's. I mean, you could debate Saquon in this argument. So
Mm,
I mean, like what other
Possibly.
player gets 1,000 rushing and 1,000
I mean,
receiving?
I don't think Saquon gets those receiving yards.
no, he gets the receiving yards.
No,
He
I
does.
don't.
nobody
I don't
goes
think he
near
gets
McCaffrey.
1K. No,
Oh, not 1K.
I don't think Saquon gets 1K.
No, but I mean, unless Teddy Bridgewater being there somehow changes McCaffrey, which I don't think it will. I think it will better him almost. Then I think McCaffrey runs away with the award.
All right, we
Yeah,
going.
And I
to
think
oh,
it
wait.
could have gone to him last year, but Michael Thomas just had an amazing season with
Uh-huh.
those catches, and you just couldn't beat it out. I mean,
He was at home in the divisional round, but yeah.
so defensive player of the year.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, Chief.
Devin White.
You said who?
Devin White.
Devin White.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Joey Bosa.
Brad.
I went Minka Fitzpatrick.
I said Joey.
I said T.J. Watt.
That was.
Okay, I would love to hear Joe.
Oh yeah, I knew you left me. So, as coming from the best college or best defensive college in all of
Oh my
football.
God.
I mean, just look at it. He won defensive rookie of the year last year. No, he didn't. No, he did not. Close.
I don't
Right?
remember.
All right. I know this
Joey
was a
Bosa
suspicious
won it.
pick. This is a suspicious pick. But was Joey? Whatever. I don't know. I just feel like Devin White. He's a ball hawk. He'll get you the picks. He's a tackle machine. Got 91 tackles last year in 13 games. Yeah. There's my argument. Not much of an argument, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Ben?
He got.
I think
two
Joey
TDs last year.
Bosa. I mean, Joey Bosa. Let me see. He had 11 sacks, 11 and a half sacks last year.
But that's also sitting out a lot of games because of injury, I think.
No, it said he played. Oh, well, on ESPN it said he played 16 games, but I
could
don't
have
know.
been wrong there. Then.
It could be wrong there. And I just think that Joey Bosa, I don't, did he win Rookie of the Year?
Yes.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think that I don't know. I think that he can really. He's a game changer. I think he's one of the best DNs. I don't think he gets a lot of credit for it. But
I'm just gonna touch on it before it goes to Brad, since me and Ben have the same person. Yeah, I think he's one of the next premier pass rushers in this league, and you'll see him continue to get better. Get 11 sacks his rookie year. I think he can probably get maybe 15 this next year as having a full year under his belt. Maybe you get 18, and I feel like he could run away with the defensive player of the year again. So then I'm gonna go Brad.
Yeah. So I picked Minka because he wasn't having he didn't like Miami or whatever. But when he went to Pittsburgh, he actually he became the leader of the defense, I believe, to be honest with you. I mean, T.J. Watt's a great linebacker, but I think Minka became the leader, and he had some great stats. I mean, he had like 2 forced fumbles, 5 picks. He even had a pick 6 that was almost 100 yards or something like that. I mean, I just think he's going to be a great leader for them. He's young too, so I don't know. That was my pick.
And I think the interesting thing we have here is that we have 2 Steelers players, which is really good, and they're young Steelers players. So then
I got
Nick?
T.J. Watt because I feel like last year he low key may have been snubbed of the award. Gilmore had a good year, but he had 14.5 sacks, 8 fumbles last year. 14 tackles for loss, 36 QB hits. Like, this man's just a monster. I think he might be better than his brother.
I feel like it easily could have gone to him last year, but they just wanted to give Gilmore it because he had a monster year at corner.
I mean, low-key went Stephon Gilmore, in my opinion, Tre'Davious White, then what?
Okay.
White wasn't really in anyone's top 3 in MVP voting. In Defensive Player of the Year voting, right? I don't think so, at least.
No, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I mean-
of course, no one would talk about him.
I don't know. I think he might have been top 5 in that list or top. I don't know.
Okay, so I think we can
Okay.
jump right to MVP. So for MVP, it's like
Yeah.
the Rookie of the Years. We're doing. So let's actually this time we'll discuss. Yeah, we'll just do how we were doing it. So Joe, and
Okay.
then we'll go to
This is
Dark
the most
Horse after we
suspicious
discuss.
one, but I am 100%
Oh,
sure about this one. Russell Wilson.
Okay. Ben.
Drew Brees.
I have
Uh,
Russell Wilson.
Pat
I'm
Mahomes.
so happy me and Brad are
I had Russell Wilson too, actually.
Yo, I thought no one was gonna have him. I don't know why. All right, so you want me to speak upon the Russell Wilson fan club?
Yeah, the 3 Russell Wilsons can speak on
Yeah,
him and that.
I mean, you could add on. So they have a very good receiving core in Lockett. What's his face?
Metcalf.
Metcalf. Yeah, you just keep on adding if I forget. Chris Carson's a very good running back. Who did they draft this year? I forgot what I had this all planned out, and I forgot what I was gonna say. Who is their run?
You want someone else to go for
Yeah,
you?
I can someone
I
fucking
don't
go
think
for
they
me.
drafted any
don't-
offensive
yeah.
player.
Oh my.
I mean, they signed Greg Olson this year.
Yes, that's what it was. Greg Olson. I was just so hyped to say it. That I
Okay.
forgot it. Yeah, and he was like low key like in the MVP race until like week 10 or 11. I mean, he was like top. He was top 3
No.
until like week 10 or 11. in
I
MVP.
will admit, Russell Wilson has been snubbed his whole career from MVP, which I think he'll go down as a Drew Brees type player to be continues to be snubbed for MVP.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah.
I'm not saying he could have won last year, but I mean, like I said, through week like 10 or 11 or 12, like he was like top 3. No,
He's gonna have to show out this year though,
100%.
because the NFC West defenses are getting a lot better, a lot better.
Yeah, but I don't
You
know.
have-
They improved their offense though in Seattle.
So I think unless you guys have anything else after, Ben.
I put Drew Brees just because nothing's really changed with his offense. He still got, hopefully, I think Alvin Kamara will have a better season than he did last season. Michael Thomas, still there. And good offensive line. They got Cesar Ruiz from Michigan to bolster the offensive line.
Yeah.
And I think that he's won Super Bowl MVP. He's never won the regular season MVP. I think this is the year. I think it might be his last year.
And that moves right into kind of it seems to be the narrative in sports this year ever since a certain documentary came out. It's called The Last Dance. I feel like there should be like the Last Dance effect here, because for my pick, Patrick Mahomes, I've been watching like talk shows like First Take, Get Up, and everything. They're saying after this year it's going to be hard to keep a lot of their core offensive players. And I feel like with what Pat Mahomes has now, it's kind of like MVP Super Bowl, or you kind of got to go not into the rebuilding stage, but you got to go into the stage of drafting young players, hoping they can progress, and then signing free agents, like decent free agents. You're not going to have the Tyreek Hills, the Damian Williams, the Travis Kelce's. You're not going to have them there your full career, because the majority of guys go for the money. They're not going for the ring. I mean, some guys near the end of their careers are going to say, okay, I'll go for the ring. But with Hill and Kelsey, Nicole Hardman, these are young guys that they can't keep forever. And in a sense, it's kind of be like Pat Mahomes last year to maybe have a full core of good people that he can make that run for MVP. So that's my argument.
Huh?
Joe,
yeah.
your dark horse?
Oh, Drew Brees.
Ben?
I had Kyler Murray.
That's a
Hey, that's something back,
That's a-
Brad.
that's a good one. That's
Mine is way out there, but I have Michael Thomas.
Oh,
I had Drew Brees.
Josh Allen.
stop. That Nick. He's a
I mean-
top. Nick.
Hold on. We'll let Nick speak last
Yeah,
on
no,
that.
Ew,
Let me speak. Let me speak about Drew Brees real fast. It's the same thing Ben said. I mean, same thing I said about Pat Mahomes. It's his last dance. Literally, like he's more than likely done after this year. He has a fancy job waiting for him at NBC to be a or he is one of the places. He has a $20 million contract waiting for him to go be an announcer. More than likely, this is his last year. So he's gonna put everything he has on the line. Do you agree with that, Joe?
Yeah, I'm just getting ready for Nick's talk. I mean, what?
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Ben, who did you say?
I said Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I want to hear
You know
that.
what?
I mean,
Yeah.
he was offensive rookie of the year last year.
Okay.
Had a good season. I don't think he was injured at all, now that I can remember. But I mean,
No,
It wasn't.
Larry Fitzgerald, good receiver, but
he's not your number one.
at the end of his career, not a number one receiver. DeAndre Hopkins. I think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to make that team maybe a contender in the NFC. I don't know, maybe a contender against the 49ers, but I think they could make that seventh wild card spot, the seventh seed.
Yeah,
I
because
think
I'll
that-
say the
I
playoffs
think
are
that-
expanded this year too. So
I think that Kyler Murray, I mean, he's shown that with little weapons. I mean, he had David Johnson. He had David Johnson at the beginning of the season, and then he had,
Carry on.
what was it? Yeah,
or not
Drake.
Carey, or,
No, it
Kenyon
was
Drake.
Kenyon Drake.
Kenyon Drake.
Which
Yeah,
Kenyon Drake's gonna be the
which
starter
really
now.
did good.
Yeah.
hmm I think that he's going to have a good season. I don't know MVP, but he's my dark horse.
That
You know what?
that's-
At
That's
first,
a good argument.
when I heard that, I like erupted, but then like I think that's reasonable.
Because he has Christian Kirk there too. Those Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald,
about him.
and DeAndre Hopkins. Those are three good receivers. Like three,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Like this thing. So Brad,
Yeah, I picked Michael Thomas because I mean, it could be his last year with Drew Brees, which I think it is, and I think he. Okay, I'm not going to say he could have won it, but I mean, for a wide receiver, he had one of the best years we've seen, probably since like Randy Moss, Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
So I think one day he'll finally break. I think he's going to be the guy to break it and have a wide receiver win MVP.
I will say one thing. I thought about putting Michael Thomas as my dark horse. The only reason I didn't was because I don't think he can do better than what he did last season.
yeah,
Because he broke the single season reception record that was held by like 15 years by Marvin Harrison.
and he only broke it by one
Yeah.
catch. He got one.
But
foot-
I just don't think that he can do better. I think he's still going to maybe be the best wide receiver in the league.
Oh yeah.
But I just don't think he's going to be better than he was last season. Because that's a really tall task
It's
to be better
hard
than
for
you
a
were last
receiver to
season.
beat a QB and an MVP.
Yeah, that's
award.
Also
that's
that,
the thing. It's
but-
really hard it's really hard for any position player to be out to be an MVP unless you had.
If a kicker can do it, anyone can do it.
Well, that was a
Yeah, well,
kicker in like
that's, like, back-
1983.
That was a kicker in a shortened season.
Yeah, and also in
So,
a shortened season.
Maybe this year will be shortened.
Exactly.
That's
okay.
true.
Nick?
Maybe.
I know.
Go ahead,
Hopefully
Nick.
not. Okay.
Yeah, let's go, Nick.
Okay. Josh Allen. Okay.
Now I didn't interrupt on this one. I'm here to listen to this
just
man.
would like
No,
to prove a point. I
I'm
didn't
here to
say a
listen, too.
single Vikings-related person this whole thing, and I'm usually the most biased person out there.
So
Well,
hear
okay,
Nick.
Josh Allen. Okay, last year he improved his completion percentage 6%, and that's with the most drops in the NFL. You know, like he was like top 5 in touchdowns. You know, got his pass rate up 18, and now this year, you know, he gets Stephon Diggs, and he gets another running back. And also last year, he had the most comebacks in the NFL and the most game-winning drives. And if he leads the Bills to like 11 or 12 wins, I think he's in the MVP conversation. Like,
he's
mean,
definitely
I
he's definitely.
I think he
up
can
there,
get
you're
30
not wrong.
plus touchdowns this year.
I mean,
He-
definitely
he-
something that like Mitchell Trubisky gets slept on because
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna have you
Okay,
close your
okay,
mouth.
we're gonna-
I am comparing their
God.
stats and they look
I'm just gonna
pretty
have
similar
you
to me.
close your
Okay.
mouth now.
First of all, I'm not a Josh Allen fan, but that's
No,
disrespect to
that's
compare him to
disrespectful.
Mitchell Trubisky.
I mean Trubisky's not that bad.
He's not the same as Trubisky.
And let's go. Like,
so-
let's tune into
Look at their
Casper the
rushing,
Ghost,
too.
No.
On the Jets. Casper, how you doing with
Trust
Sam
me.
Darnold right now?
I know that my quarterback needs work. I'm fully aware. I'm
Okay,
just
he
stating on
needs a
this
lot
point.
more than work.
I mean, I think
But,
with
I
all
mean,
their
Colin
things around
Cowherd
him,
doesn't, but then again,
I
Colin
guess-
Cowherd's an idiot.
I guess after you kind of explained it, he definitely could be top 5. He could be a guy that's fighting for it with like Drew Brees, Pat Mahomes. He could be a guy that's fighting for that MVP because, especially like you said, he can run away with that division this year, depending on what the Patriots do now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah, 100% they win the division. I don't think the Patriots win.
I mean,
If
a lot of
if
people
he
are saying
gets
that,
that
the Patriots
completion
got-
percentage above 60%, that's a scary
No,
team.
it's definitely after you explained it, it's definitely not as outlandish as I thought when I
I thought
first
Joe
heard
was
his
going to have a
name.
stroke over there. He was flailing around. Jesus Christ.
But I mean, I feel like we had some good picks. They weren't the one thing I was scared about this video is that there were gonna be a lot of arguing. But I mean, I feel like we
No,
came
there
to
actually
agreement
wasn't
on a
really
lot. I mean,
anything.
yeah, we all had different picks, but I feel like on a lot of them we came to agreement on most of them. And we're able to narrow down certain guys for each one. So I think that's all we got for you guys this episode. The one other thing I wanted to mention about the NFL that came out this week was that instead of doing a 4 preseason game, they are taking away the first week and the 4th week. So there'll be a bye in between the the start of the NFL season and the last preseason game.
I think they should just have 2 preseason games in general,
I
but
think that's what they're moving to next year
Yeah.
when they expand the schedule.
So that's
it
what I
will-
think. But
it will be kind of a sneak peek at what we're going to see anyways.
4 preseason games is excessive.
also,
I mean,
the
if
Washington.
anything, you need 2. Like, you don't need to see
Yeah.
anything from your starters unless there's a battle going on. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's all we got for you guys. Anything got any-
Also, before the start of the season, the team that shall not be named that is in Washington D.C. might have a different name.
I think they're just called the team in Washington.
The football team that is located in Washington D.C.
Wait, do they not have a name as of now?
No, they still have a name. It's just
They still have the name,
they're
but
being
it's
they're
in
being pressured.
debate now.
They're being pressured to change
They're
it.
being
So
pressured by their
Could
biggest
be the
sponsor.
Washington Warriors.
Why?
So, I mean, we'll obviously follow that in our. We might even be able to talk about that on Monday. See how things go over the weekend. And over the weekend, it's 4th of July, so hope everyone has.
Shout out to all the Americans.
Yeah, I mean, Nick obviously isn't
Respect
gonna.
my country.
He's Canadian, so he won't enjoy it as much.
And it was
as
his
we
day
will.
was yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
day was
My
yesterday.
favorite holiday of the year.
Ben celebrates both. Ben celebrates both.
We all celebrate any day.
So, yeah, hope everyone has a safe weekend. And Nick and Joe's film room comes out tomorrow on the 4th.
It does.
So,
It does.
so that comes out on. Sounds like we don't know what that's gonna be. So that comes out.
Yeah,
on the
Sounds
4th.
like the person in the video didn't know that it was coming.
No,
No,
we
sorry.
do. I just didn't realize it was Thursday already. God dang.
It's
So
Friday.
That comes out on the 4th. So that might be a special video. I don't even know what's going on in that video. So
I do.
and then we have Monday for the next Buds podcast, and then we have the 10th episode of A&M where we're gonna have a special guest on there. So hope everyone has a good weekend. Like I said, like if you haven't already, and subscribe if you like our content. And see you guys next time.